welcome back to my channel. This is Adrian and today we're going to be making rice, broccoli, and chicken casserole. It's a really good recipe that I hope you would try. So first you're going to need your rice, and this is 2 cups of rice. And we're just going to pour it into our pan like so. Just make sure you get it evenly to the bottom. Perfect. Okay, and then also you're going to come right behind that with 2 cups of water. You're just going to pour that in as well gently so you don't spill any. Perfect. Okay, and then we're going to have our cream of mushroom soup that we're going to pour in, and I'm going to use a spoon. You just add it in gently, slow. I would recommend getting the larger can because it has more in it. So when it bakes in the oven, sometimes it can dry out a little bit. So I would recommend getting the bigger can so that way you don't have that problem. And this meal is good for meal prep if you're making it like for a week and taking it to work or something like that. It's good for Sunday dinner. It's good for just anything. It's good for a regular meal during the week. And then we're going to come back behind that with our cream of chicken soup. And I also have the large can of cream of chicken soup. And we're just going to pour that in just like so. Just like we did the cream of mushroom. And make sure you're spreading it out all around the pan. And if you don't like mushrooms, you don't necessarily have to have the cream of mushroom soup, because I know I don't like mushrooms, but everybody else loves mushrooms. So, I know people like mushrooms. So you don't necessarily have to have the cream of mushroom if you don't like it. You can also substitute that with cream of celery soup, and perfect. So then we're going to come back behind that and we're going to add our broccoli. And you can just, let that in there gently like that. Perfect, beautiful. And then we're gonna put butter. And this is just 4 tablespoons of butter. And just gonna pour it on in there like that. And if you don't want to use it all, you don't have to use it all. I personally used it all. And then we're gonna take our spoon again and we're just gonna kind of press it down a little bit. So that way we have room for our chicken. And I'm using chicken chunks. They come from your local supermarket, anywhere you can get them. And you can either get them fresh or frozen. And they're basically just chicken breasts, but in like bite-sized pieces. You can also use chicken tenderloins. You can also use what I've seen somebody use. You can also use the bone-in chicken. So you can use legs and thighs and breasts and put it in there also. And that also works just as fine. But for this recipe today, I'm using the chicken chunks. And the chicken chunks, when I say chicken chunks, it kind of sounds gross, but it's chicken breast. It's natural, I promise. So this is what it looks like. And we're just gonna lay them in there, nice and neat, in the bowl. In the pan. Okay, and you can add as much as you like. If you like a lot of chicken like I do, I love chicken, you can add a lot. If you don't like as much chicken, don't add that much. So yes, you're just going to make sure you put the chicken all around the pan. And it looks like I'm not going to use all this chicken. I can use this for a different meal. And then, perfect. So, we got that one right there. Perfect. So then we're going to take our black pepper salt, and it's basically just black pepper and some kosher salt in a grinder, I'm sorry. And we're just going to add some of that. And you can season to your heart's desire. If you like a lot, put as much as you want. If you don't like that much, then that's also fine. We're also going to use some Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. And we're just going to top it off with that. We're not going to put a whole lot. We're just going to kind of top it off just to give it a little extra flavor. And that's perfect. And then our final ingredient is going to be shredded cheese. And we're just going to sprinkle our shredded cheese on top. And it's more like just a topping, so don't put a whole lot. Because when it starts to melt, it expands. So, perfect. And then we're just going to put this in our oven, and it's been preheated to 400 degrees, and we'll be right back with the finished product. Okay, so while that's in the oven cooking for 2 hours at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, we're going to get to start it on a different dish. It's going to be spaghetti with Italian sausage. So we have our bow tie noodles. You can use any noodles that you want, but we chose bow tie noodles. And we're going to pour them into our boiling water. And you're going to cook them until they're tender. Perfect. And we're going to get our Italian sausage. And we're going to lay them in our pan. And don't be alarmed by the sound. It's okay. And then we're going to pour a cup of water in just to make sure they don't cook too fast, and then make sure they cook all the way. Okay, so when they start getting brown on one side, then we're going to flip them. And no, they're not cooked all the way through yet, but because eventually what we're going to do is we're going to fry them. We'll pan fry them so that way they get a little charred taste a little bit. We're just gonna flip them so they get brown on both sides to make sure the inside is cooked all the way through. And then when you get your inside cooked all the way through, you're gonna pour your water out, and then you're just gonna let them kind of simmer until you feel that they're ready. Okay, so our noodles are now nice and tender, beautiful. Okay, so we're gonna drain them so that way we don't have any water still left in there. And you basically just put them in this nice little strainer. You can get these at any supermarket. And then you can just pour them back in your pot. As simple as that. Really nice, easy cleanup, you know. It doesn't make that much of a mess. And there you have them nice and strained in your pot, and then you're just going to put them back on the stove. Okay, so now our Italian sausages are brown on both sides. So that just means that the inside is perfectly cooked and done. So now what we're going to do is we're going to strain the water that was in there, and we're just going to pour it out. And that way they can, like I said, they can kind of pan fry a little bit to give them more of like a charred look, like they were on the grill or something like that. And it just gives them a better taste as well. So we're going to give that about 5 more minutes, and they should be perfect. You're going to give them 5 minutes on each side and let them get like, you know, a little charred look, and then they'll be perfectly fine, and then they'll be done. Okay, so as you can see, our sausage is now brown / blackened a little bit. That's how I like them. So then we're going to just take them and we're going to put them on our chopping block. Uh-oh. My table is clean, I promise. Since they're round, they don't like to stay in place. That's okay. And we're just going to move this off to the side for now. So we're just going to take it and we're going to cut it into nice little slithers. Not really slithers, but nice little slices. Is the proper way to say it. slices. Perfect. And we'll be right back. Okay, so now we're just gonna put our sausages back into a saucepan. And we're gonna add our Newman's Own Italian sausage and Pepper's spaghetti sauce. And we're gonna take our spoon and guide it out. And we don't want to put too much because we don't want to take away from the Italian sausage and from the noodles. We're just gonna stir this around. And we're gonna see if we need to add more, which yes, we do need to add more. So we're just gonna add a little bit more, not too much. Perfect. And so this is the consistency of what it looks like. It's got our sausages in it, but it's spaghetti sauce. And we're just gonna let that simmer a little bit. Welcome back. Our chicken casserole is now finished and it is looking delicious. Oh my goodness. And we're gonna try it. I'm gonna get a nice piece. Goodness, it looks so good. And there's cheese on the top. Delicious. Be careful because it's hot. Delicious. So, I hope you enjoyed these two recipes, these two amazing recipes. I didn't try the spaghetti because I don't like spaghetti, but my aunt tried the spaghetti and she said it was delicious. So I hope you guys enjoyed and please come back for more. And until we meet again.